Hey gang, Captain Jeff Kraynik and myself had a great show today. We talked a little bit about some duck hunting, also the mullet run that's starting right now along the Space Coast. Hopefully you guys and gals will enjoy it. We also had a call in talking about the impacts of the new Starship rocket that is proposed to be launched out of the Space Center, and a lot of the environmental and economical impacts that is going to have on outdoorsmen like ourselves that like to hunt and fish around the wildlife refuge. So hopefully you guys and gals will enjoy this show.
Well, good morning, East Central Florida, and welcome to another edition of Catch a Berry Outdoors right here on WWBC 1510 AM. We appreciate you guys and gals tuning in every Saturday to see what's going on up and down the Space Coast and points beyond, as we have obviously calls from all over the place and listeners all over the place. For those of you that are sitting in your tree stand or in your ground blind this morning.
What's this morning?
Well, in some states it's open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. South Carolina is an example. It's open already. Yeah. So hopefully you still got one in velvet. That would be a really cool shot to make this morning. But if he's hard-horned already, oh well, it is what it is. You'll just have to join the rest of us next week whenever the real season or the regular season opens out through the majority of the Southeast region. Here's the other thing that's going on this week. We'll get into that in just a second, okay? Let's let them know how to get a hold of us. 321-632-1000 is our call-in line. We would love to hear from you guys and gals. If you got any tips, tricks, fishing reports, things you've been doing, questions for us, give us a call, 321-632-1000. You can get us right here in the studio, and at least during the live show, and we would love to hear from you. Captain Jeff Kraynik is graceful enough to come in this morning and give me some support, so I appreciate you coming in this morning.
Always my pleasure, buddy.
You know, I see you have your hunting gear on.
I do.
Yeah.
I sport the new C-Tech shirt.
Yeah. That reminds me it's time to
dust it off.
Time to dust it off. Actually, I did dust it off. Okay. So Jeff is a huge duck hunter, been guiding and duck hunting for decades now, and so I got my gun out last week, went over to my good friend Jesse Dance's place, and shot a few clays.
Sorry we couldn't make it.
Missed a lot of clays, but shot a few. I seem to be about equally adept at missing them as I am at hitting them. So
part of the game.
It is. No, Jesse, however, of course, he's like 99 out of 100. Mm-hmm. The guy just doesn't miss. And then he met a new friend of his over there, and we had a good time. Had a really nice little session, and it was just an interesting refresher for me. I still cannot shoot with both eyes open. It just will not happen. I will miss every single time. And even Captain Kyle Weaver sent me a little short video clip from a guy who was talking about the mistake that I have or that I am making and continuing to make is that I am left eye dominant and I continue to shoot right-handed. Okay? I just have always shot right-handed. I've never tried to shoot left-handed with a handgun, pistol. Obviously, you have to be ambidextrous with your pistol, but what I'm talking about with a rifle. And I just cannot get the hang of it. I am just so awkward when I try to shoot left-handed. I feel like I don't know. I just can't do it. So now, if I went through a couple of 1,000 rounds of shot shells, maybe I'd start to catch on. But it's one of those things. Well, I'm not going to do that either.
Back in the day when I had a little bit more time and energy, about three years, I was into the sporting clays.
Mm-hmm.
I was sponsored by Fab Arms when they made their way into the country years ago, and always had 6 or 8 of their guns in the safe. Supposed to take them. And one thing, a shooter, actually it was Chase Platt. He was a master class sporting clays guy there for a long time.
Right.
He showed me one trick, one tip that increased my score between 5 and 8 clays per round.
Really?
Yeah. The forearm of the shotgun, what you do is you take it and you run your finger, you grab at the forend like that.
Right.
And keep that finger very uncomfortable at first. Now I don't even know I'm doing it. Wherever your tip of that finger is, that's where your eyes
So interesting. That's interesting because I sort of sometimes shoot my AR platform rifle in that fashion. Or sometimes I'll even wrap my finger over the top of the handguard on my AR platform.
Just pointing that finger and your offhand, that's where your line of sight's going to be. That's just how your brain works.
Interesting.
And I've passed that on to clients over the years and some other buddies. And
I'll have to get back over to Jesse's and give that a try.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable at first. But it's like opposite of keeping your finger out of the trigger and along the frame of whatever platform you're shooting.
Okay.
So,
well, I'll try it. And, anything at this point would be a benefit.
You don't give yourself enough credit, Jim. You're a darn good shooter.
Well, I'm sitting next to you and Blair and Kyle in the boat, and no, I am not.
Kyle's deadly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be afraid of Kyle in a gunfight, okay? Because he don't, man.
Yeah. But maybe am I trying to hold my standards too high? Only being an occasional duck hunter you're what, 2, 3 of this at this point?
2 or 3 or what?
Year 2 or 3 that I've even gone on a duck hunt.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
But I go back to when you were sighting in your AR platform. And you said at 100 yards, you were in a pie plate.
Yeah, and to me that sucks.
You weren't satisfied with that. 100 yards, no major optics, bench rest. That's a kill shot.
Yeah, but I'm used to, with my bolt action rifles, you're almost touching bullet holes.
Totally different platform. Totally different. That's why your police snipers normally have a bolt action weapon. Okay. Less moving parts. That's why they're snipers.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I'm gonna continue to work on it. And you know what? The best part is being able to work on it is starting Monday on September 8th of 2025. Florida has a no sales tax law.
Yes. On
ammo and guns, and
the governor was pretty proud of that one.
Yeah. So, man, I'm telling you right now, I almost went absolutely berserk in Bass Pro the other day when I was down in Miami filming the Texas Insider and Florida Insider TV shows for Rick. On Wednesday, after I check out of the hotel at noon, I don't have anything to do all day long until I have to be at the Media Pro Studios at 5 p.m. to get ready for filming. So I go find something to do. Well, I wandered around the Dolphin Mall down there, and they've got that big Worldwide Sportsman Bass Pro Shops, and they were restocked to the hilt. They had so much ammo in that place. They had it stacked in the aisles. They still had double and triple layer carts that were filled that they couldn't even stock. They just had them rolled out and just sitting in the aisles. They had so much ammo at that time. And I was like, man, I'm going to go. And I'm like, nope, pull back on the reins, because if I wait another couple of days, I can save a substantial amount of money.
Right.
Because when you start talking about spending $500 or $600 or $700 worth of ammunition, which is, if you're going to buy, you want to buy in bulk if you can. And you get a better deal to straight off the get-go. It's a better price. But then to be able to save the taxes on top of that, that's an additional incentive. It can mean that you've got an extra box of ammo in some cases, or So anyway, it's a great day. That Monday's going to be a great day, and all the way through the end of the year. Got Captain Matt Lee on the line this morning. What's going on this morning, Matt?
Good morning, buddy. I just want to give you a report on these ghost shrimp we talked about last week.
Yeah.
They're working.
You're liking them, huh?
8-ounce jig head underneath the popping cork. We just started fishing about 10 minutes ago. We've got one keeper, 2 shorts. I missed 2.
Well, so you've had 5 bites in 10 minutes. That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
That is awesome. Now,
it's a beautiful day today.
I was going to say, are you up in the islands or are you out in the open part of Mosquito Lagoon?
I'm out in the open. These fish have been, since we've gotten this high water, these fish have pushed up on these grass flats instead of the outside edges like we were fishing.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so we're moving up in there. We've got a southwest wind, so we're pushing up into the flat. So the bite should keep getting better and better as we get in there.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome.
Well, we've used the prototype. We used that prototype we talked about last week, the silver one, for about, I don't know, like he's probably on his 10th cast and caught 2 and missed 2, I think.
Oh, with the bang bug or with the
silver bang bug. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So
silver ghost, yes sir.
Robin and Teresa at Assassin sent me some new product. It's called a bang bug, and it's a little creature style bait with like twin tails. And so I gave Matt a pack of them and said, "Hey, let me know how they work." Well, apparently
they work.
I just heard him say he's hooked up again. So
we just hooked up again. You got another one. And all I did was, like I said, just rig it on an 8-ounce jig head underneath the popping cork.
That's awesome, Matt. That's awesome.
So we're using the silver one. I haven't used the that pumpkin one or whatever that one is, that other color.
Right.
But we're definitely using the silver ghost for now because it's so light. You know, it's still dark out here. So. And
that thing shows up really well in the water, I would imagine.
Oh my gosh, you got to see it behind that cork, man. When you pop it, that thing goes crazy.
Huh.
It is cool. It's cool how it works.
All right, now I'm gonna have to go do that on Monday.
All right, well, come on. Yeah.
Gonna have to go
and give you a report before I forgot. I've already forgot twice to call you, so I figured the third time's a charm.
There you go, bud.
I'll give you a call.
Well, man, we'll let you get back to it. But how does somebody get a hold of you if they want to get out there and throw a couple of bang bugs and catch a bunch of fish?
386-214-3530, and you just missed another one. Or Facebook, Instagram, website, coderedfishingcharters.com.
Oh, that's so awesome, Matt. Thanks for the call this morning, buddy. I'm glad those baits are working for you.
Thanks. And I'll get with you later, and we'll get an order made.
That sounds good, brother. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Bye now. That is really cool. Yeah.
You did that with me a couple of years ago. Threw me some packs of lures, and I was like, wow.
Yep. I tell you, man, Assassin has been around for 30-plus years. Between their Bass Assassin line and their Saltwater Assassin line, they just continue to come out with things that catch fish. It's really, it's interesting to me. Robin Shiver is like this, he's like this redneck genius, that he just understands what the fish want. Mm-hmm. And everything he makes works. I mean, it's just, there's always the newest, latest, and greatest. There's a bunch of other companies that come out every single year, and they're hot for a little while. Assassin has a 30-year track record of putting stuff out there that consistently catches fish. Yep. And that's one of the reasons that I use them so much, is because every single bait, they are confidence baits. When you put one of those lures on, you just know if there's a fish around, he's going to eat that thing. So it's really great that this new bang bug is doing so good. I was talking with Teresa the other day, and she sent me a picture of somebody who was fishing over in Orange Lake. One of the professional bass guys that they work with, Cole or something. I forgot what the guy's name was now. Anyway, dude's he's all over the TV, all over the magazine, stuff like that, and he's catching these 7-8 pound fish in the middle of August heat, late August, early September, middle of the heat. He's catching 7 and 8 pound bass on artificial in the middle of the day. That's a testimony. If you're going to say, okay, when are you least likely to catch that big bass on artificial? It's going to be in the hottest part of the year on artificial in the middle of the day. Maybe first thing in the morning, maybe last thing in the afternoon. But that midday bite on a swim bait, holy cow.
Freshwater bass fishermen aren't known for their intelligence. So.
But that bait works. That bait works. It's, in fact, she was telling me that he was throwing shiners, mm-hmm. which is, that's what you normally throw.
Right.
Give them a live bait, and let it just swim around over their head for a while, and eventually they're like, okay, I can't stand it anymore. I got to eat that thing. So they're throwing live baits. They're throwing live shiners. they're getting a bite here and a bite there. They'd caught some fish, not a lot, but they'd caught some fish. And this fella's like, look, I want to throw an artificial. I guess his client says, I want to throw an artificial. And he's like, sure, let's do it. So he put on one of the, I think it was the deposit slip color, if I remember her telling me correctly, which is sort of a black with a blue flake kind of a thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I put it on the Carolina rig. Guy caught 30 bass. I just Carolina rigging with a soft plastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
And one or two of those bass were in that 7 and 8 pound class.
I go back to, it's been about 8-10 years now, when Live Target was putting out.
Yeah.
Nothing's, the harmonics when these baits are going through the water, they change with every little doodad and knick-knack they do with it. And for a while there, this little 3-inch popper, never heard that sound in the water like any other poppers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, neither did the fish.
And they loved it. For about 2 seasons. But that was my go-to. Yeah.
When we were doing topwater. It's something different. It's like showing up to a barbecue with pizza.
Yeah.
And they're making hot dogs out back. So I truly believe that's what it does. I'll try any new bait.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, but that's my experience with new stuff like that.
Yep. Well, guys and gals, we're going to take our first break of the day. When we come back, we got a whole lot more Catch a Memory with Captain Jeff Kraynik and myself, Jim Ross, so don't go away. We're going to be right back after these messages. Is now the top soft plastic lure brand for saltwater. Sea trout, tarpon, redfish, and snook hammer the Saltwater Assassin 4-inch sea shad. With its amazing swimming action, this lure sets the bar for swim bait designs. Other companies continue to try, but none have been able to replicate the action of this incredible minnow-style lure. But Assassin has other proven designs. I like the native shiner colored 5-inch Shad Assassin. That's my go-to lure when I'm targeting big gator trout. Redfish love the Drunk Monkey or the Mudbug colored 4-inch Assassin Shrimp Cocktail. And you can rig these on a weedless worm hook or the amazing Assassin Springlock Jig Head. Now, these are just a few of my favorite Assassin lures. Check out what top professional anglers have known for years. Assassin lures simply catch more fish, and you can get them at your local tackle store or go to bassassassin.com and get some of these fantastic lures for yourself today. Starbright Premium Marine Polish helps keep your boat looking great. This easy-to-apply premium polish uses polymers instead of wax, so it lasts up to 3 times longer than traditional boat wax. The polymers in Starbright Premium Marine Polish are also easier to apply, block UV rays better, and help keep fish blood, slime, and poop and other stuff from sticking to your gel coat. Starbright Premium Marine Polish isn't a wax, it's a sealer. It's safe for all fiberglass, paints, and polished metals. You won't believe how awesome Starbright Premium Marine Polish will make your car or truck look too. Wax is for surfboards, not boats. Protect your boat with Starbright. Hey guys and gals, welcome back. I want to say good morning to those of you that are out there watching on the Facebook feed this morning. And remember, you can always watch the Facebook Live. I guess it stays up for about 30 days. So you can watch that right there on Catch a Memory Outdoors. The other thing we have is we chop that up and we put it on the YouTube channel. So you've got, Captain Jim Ross YouTube channel. So you can always go back and watch a bunch of the older things that are there. But there goes a little bit of a lag time in that, but hopefully we're getting that caught back up. But Paul, I had another question for you. I'm going to ask our producer, Paul, something here real quick. So we have on the WWBC website, we have, it's got to be 8 or 10 years worth of podcasts that are
on demand. We'll call it
on demand. Mm-hmm. So I was going through that the other day. I wanted to go. It was somebody had asked me a question about one of the past shows, and I went back to look for it, and it was like 2 months ago. Well, it looks like on the WWBC website, when you pull up Catch a Memory Radio podcast or recorded show, there are some that you can listen to live, but then there are some that say that you can't. Can you only download those versions, those older versions, or is it just...
I'll check that out as the show's going on. But
Okay.
That's been revamped so that all of you out there is that it's much easier for you to listen in on your phone now. So the on-demand has been revamped. It's much more user-friendly now. So, and it's geared toward people on their phones as opposed to
I was going to say, I was looking on my computer, and like I said, it would, on some of the newer stuff, I could just click on the listen now button, but all of them didn't have that they did have the download.
Well, that's been
button.
changed maybe 6 or 8 weeks ago.
Okay.
So perhaps that's the difference. There's a new program that's playing it now.
Okay.
So,
but it should still be available.
Absolutely.
Okay.
From as far back as 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, we've got a huge backlog of content that is still relevant today. I mean,
right.
What we talked about 2 and 3 years ago at this time of the year is still relevant because at some point in time, those same conditions, it may not be the exact same week each year, but it would be within sort of a month-ish swing that you would get this type of weather pattern that creates this kind of a bite, or you would get, we would be talking about duck hunting or we would be talking about deer hunting or whatever it happens to be, but it's still relevant content that is still good to listen to because of the tips and the tricks and the techniques that the guests that I've had in have talked about.
All the shows are highly informative.
Yeah. Okay.
But I will check that out here at
the ones where I'm here are better, though.
The ones when you're here are better?
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
Naturally.
Of course they are. Hey, you know what? So we were going to start off with I started to jump forward, okay? The mullet run is finally on, okay?
Yep.
Now, you guys and gals on social media have seen posts over the last 3 or 4 weeks saying, oh, the mullet run is on. No, the mullet run was not on.
No, it was not.
I have some very good friends that made posts saying it was on, and no, it wasn't, okay? Those are still mullet. Those are northward traveling mullet. They always do that in August. They do start to bunch up a little bit here and there, and you'll get a pod of, a couple of thousand or, maybe 4,000 or 5,000 of them in a pod. But the run has now begun. I sat on the North Jetty at Canaveral Thursday morning for just a little bit. There were fish coming streaming around that jetty right at daybreak. Fish blowing up all over the place, all up and down the beach. I saw this one shark come out of the water up the beach. I saw 2 tarpon come out of the water. I'm like, oh, we got to go. We left the jetty, ran up the beach. Because, when you see two 100-pound tarpon and about an 80-pound spinner shark come out of the water, all in the same general area, that's where you need to get.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's it. Where you're sitting is okay. That's the hot spot. You need to get to the hot spot. So we go race up the beach and we start fishing up the beach. And we caught jacks and we caught redfish and we caught snook and we caught ladyfish and just on and on. So that died down a little bit.
Were you throwing live bait or topwater or a little bit of everything?
We were throwing a little bit of each. Throwing some artificials and then throwing some live fingerling mullet. So then the guy's like, okay, this has been fun. We got our slot snook in the box for him. And he's like, hey, I've always wanted to try and catch a triple tail. Do you think we could do that? I'm like, let's go try. I've got shrimp on the boat. Let's go give it a... So we go and we try a couple of different spots, and we weren't successful. It's a little early, okay?
Yeah, about a month, yeah.
Yeah. Now, last Monday, I had a very good day. We caught 4, and 3 of the 4 were legal. One was about 8 pounds, one was about 10.5, and one was just a little over 12. So the 3 we kept were very nice sized fish, uncommon for this time of the year, but didn't find any. Looked around on some floating debris, worked a scum line for a little bit, and didn't really see. That's the interesting thing. Scum lines for triple tail, people don't pay attention to them. If it doesn't have any floating debris in it, a lot of times people will go right by it. But that scum line or that slick, that's a current seam. And those fish are drawn to those types of,
And
features.
It's just enough cover to where they're comfortable with it.
Yep. And so the other thing about scum lines is you won't see the triple tail right up at the top of the water. They're going to be down 2, 3, sometimes 4 feet. So if you don't have a tower first thing in the morning, it's difficult to work a scum line. You have to wait till the middle of the day when the sun's up higher and you can see deeper into the water. So it's around 9:45, 10 o'clock. We've got fairly decent visibility. I can see down about 3 feet with the water clarity that's in the Canaveral area right now. So we're working that scum line. I thought I saw one, but then we kind of, you stop and you're looking and you're like, maybe I was just my eyes playing tricks on me. Of course, with triple tail, all they have to do is sink a foot, and now you can't see them anymore. They camouflage really well once they're down in the water. So we may have not seen one. I don't know. We didn't have a hookup, so nothing picked the shrimp up when we tossed it that way. We may have even spooked the fish for all I know, if it was an actual fish there. So we come back to the jetty, and it's about 10:15, 10:20. And I'm like, okay, the tide is just starting to move good again. Let's go back to the jetty, and let's see what else we can get. There's mangrove snapper, potentially flounder. You just never know, okay? Plus the redfish and other species. So we come back to the jetty, and the mullet start to flow again. Okay, there was a patch comes by, another patch of a couple thousand comes by, another patch of a couple thousand comes by, and at about 10:30, it was on. Somebody opened that floodgate, and it was on. It was a 10 to 15 foot wide stretch or strip, like a river, just a solid river of mullet. And from 10:30 until we left at 12:15 to go back to the
never
dock,
stopped.
there was no break in it. There was zero breaks in it. That's the mullet run. So, and it started off as fingerlings coming around the jetty and then working their way across the mouth of the port towards the south jetty, continuing their movement on south. And then at about 11, I started seeing a few pods of the bigger silvers in that 7, 8, 9-inch range coming by on the outside edge of the stream of fingerlings. And then by 11:40, 11:45 till 12:15, it was almost all silvers. And then the fingerling mullet that were the solid mass, the solid river of flowing fish going by the boat, turned more into those bigger silvers with an occasional patch of fingerlings coming by. But I mean, it was 2 solid hours with no break in it.
I know the mullet runs here now. Captain Blair Wiggins was starting to talk about smoking mullet that time of year.
Yeah.
Bait run's got to be close.
Yep.
Something tickling at the back of his neck.
But it was a real joy and so we ran out of finger mullet, and I was like, I'm not going to throw the net again. I've got all these shrimp in here. Let's just see if they'll eat shrimp. So we started throwing shrimp towards the rocks, and that's when we started picking up more mangroves, more redfish, and then we got into a little pot of black drum that happened to just kind of they were actually kind of sitting off the jetty a little bit. And so, we burned up the rest of the shrimp and kind of stayed over, a little bit, but it's on. It is. If you guys and gals out there were wondering if it's time to go fishing or not, get there, because it's time. Those fish were absolutely on fire, especially that first 2 hours of daylight. It was just magical.
Got to be out there to catch them.
You're right about that. And if you need somebody to go with, look at a lot of the guides that come on this show. Captain Jeff, Captain Matt Lee, Captain Mike Mann, Captain Glenn Austin. Look at a lot of these guys that do, a lot of that type of fishing. And those are just a few of the guys that we've had on the show over the past few weeks. And help, they'll help you get out there and get on that mullet run bite. Well, guys and gals, we're going to take our bottom of the hour break, and we're going to be right back after these messages. So don't go away.
See you.
We love to kick back and relax at either of their waterfront locations with a cool tropical frozen drink and some of the freshest island-style seafood around. Grills is known for its fantastic food quality, like their bacon-wrapped scallops, shrimp Cuban sandwich, or one-of-a-kind Bahamian fish chowder. The Tiki Deck features some of the area's best local bands throughout the week, plus Grills has a fantastic breakfast menu, too. Chill out at Grills' original location in the Cove at Port Canaveral, right next to Sunrise Marina, or check out Grills' Riverside location on Highway US 1, just north of the Pineda Causeway. Go to www.grillsseafood.com for more information, and remember, it all happens at Grills. Nobody likes to pay for insurance, but you have to have it. So do what I did. Go to Petrucci Insurance. They're your local independent insurance agent, and they're here to make sure you get the right policy to fit your insurance needs at the best price available. I gave Petrucci Insurance a call. They reviewed my current policy and saved me $700 on my home insurance alone. Plus, Petrucci found me better coverage than the policy I had with my other company that I'd been with for years. Don't waste money another day. Call Petrucci Insurance at 321-632-1200. That's 321-632-1200. And stop wasting money on your home, car, boat, and life insurance today. Trailer problems can be a real day breaker. When you need to go to the area's best trailer supply and repair shop, try Ferguson's. Family owned and operated since 1954 and located on Highway 192 in West Melbourne, Ferguson's has a huge supply of trailer tires, wheels, axles, lights, jacks, and other trailer parts in stock. If you're not a do-it-yourselfer, stop by and pick up the parts you need. If not, let their expert staff do the repairs for you. Ferguson's also installs electric brake controllers, trailer hitches, and goosenecks. They have a full line of automotive and marine interstate batteries, so if you need a trailer maintenance, repair part, or a new Continental boat trailer, go to the best trailer shop on the Space Coast, Ferguson's. Check them out at fergusonstrailersupply.com or call their shop at 321-723-5425. Hey guys and gals, welcome back. We appreciate you tuning in every Saturday right here to Catch a Memory Outdoors. This segment of the show is brought to you by Direct Graphics. And if you guys and gals want to see what they do over at Direct Graphics, they do things like this. If you're watching on Facebook, obviously, our Catch a Memory Outdoors. Hey, Jeff, can you hold that just a little bit closer up there, but still stay on this side of the light so that the viewers on Facebook can actually see? Okay. Jeff, a.k.a. Vanna White. So this is our newest rendition of the Catch a Memory Outdoors sticker. It's an oval sticker. It says Catch a Memory Outdoors. Got the show. Oh, at the CCA banquet, yeah. Anyway, it's got the show times on it. It's got the station on it. It's got some tarpon scales, and it's got some other things on it, some deer tracks, some turkey tracks. It's got a really cool little thing. It's got just a lot of detail that's in this thing. But this is the kind of stuff that they can do for you. If you have it in your mind as to what you want done, they can design it for you, print it out. If you need shirts, like we're having a bunch of new Catch Your Memory shirts done from Direct Graphics. Anyway, they do a bunch of stuff at Direct Graphics to help you promote whatever it is you want to promote, whether it's a business, a family function, a work gathering, whatever it happens to be, they can help you out. And anything from business cards to billboards, they can print it for you. So give them a call over there at Direct Graphics at 321-631-1001. That's 321-631-1001.
They do boat wraps too, or no?
Boat wraps, truck wraps, yeah, everything. So they do a fantastic job. So if you guys and gals get a chance, if you're interested in that sort of thing, then Direct Graphics is your go-to over there for sure. Jeff, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that I use whenever I'm going to be doing the beach fishing this time of the year. So basically September 1, open snook season, through around Halloween-ish, is when these lures, obviously whatever bait fish is coming down the beach tends to be a pretty good thing to use. And I'll put a mullet on a knocker rig, a mullet on a jig head. Croakers will work, shrimp will work. There's a lot of different species that we're gonna see in the next 6 weeks. But I just wanted to show.
You got one of my favorites.
Which one is that?
That big popper.
Oh yeah, the Explode. Now on the Explode, I've taken the treble hooks off of this, and I've only had one shark hit it so far. But look, one bite. I didn't hook. Well, my guys didn't hook the fish, but one bite, and you can tell you gotta have a robust lure for sharks.
These big poppers, guys look at them and go, that's too big.
Right.
Now, before the grass die off, Captain Pepe Vidal and I used to slip out after work right before dark, and we'd be throwing these for trout.
On the flat.
Yeah. And around the drop-offs and stuff.
Yeah.
And like you said, offshore, you just can't beat them. You just cannot beat a big popper.
Yeah, so this is the small size. I find it more manageable for most of my clients. There's also a larger size that's like really robust. It's more built for sharks, tuna, like bluefin, yellowfin tuna, things like that. But this size right here is good for just all around. But I take the treble hooks off of this thing, and then I put a big inline single hook. This is a VMC hook. It's called their ILS, or inline single. And that is about a 6/0 or 7/0 size in that particular hook. And the reason that I do that, obviously, is, when you get a shark on or a tarpon on, the treble hooks can become a menace.
Yes.
And especially with the tarpon, somehow, I don't know how, somehow they can spit a treble hook, and I'm not exactly sure. This single, they don't seem to do it quite as easily.
Is that a J hook or a?
It's
kind of a
sorta. It's kind of a
in between.
It's not quite a circle, but it's not quite a J. It's
right.
Kind of like those, kind of like a tuna, like a Dynacut tuna style hook.
I wish some of these bait companies would come together and standardize what a hook size of a hook is.
No, you're not going to get any consensus on that. You're right. It makes no sense.
Makes
whatsoever.
no sense at all.
So on this one, for those of you that can see it, I'm going to describe it for those of you that can't see it out in radio land. But I have a piece of about 12 inches of the what do they call the wire?
Coated wire?
No, it's not stainless. Titanium. The titanium wire that I have a swivel attached to one end, and then I have it just crimped on both ends, so that if the shark does get up there, or if you throw these over a bait pod, like if you're out in 30, 40, 50 feet of water and pull this across a pogie pod or a pilchard pod or a greenie pod, a lot of times there's king mackerel out there, and the king mackerel will come up to this. I also take it to the wrecks if I go offshore wreck fishing and reef fishing. So if you get an area where you've got a wreck or a reef, a lot of times you can pop these and bring cobia up, bring big jacks up, and king mackerel. So it's just a great all-around lure for me. But that titanium keeps those kingfish and those sharks from taking that $20 lure. And then I think, lip diving plugs, like an X-Wrap. Mm-hmm. Just a simple lip diving plug is a fantastic. The original was really the Bomber. The Bomber Long A was the original sort of lipped diving plug that for saltwater. Guys would take the Rapala F series, the floaters, and take them to saltwater, but they're really not designed for that. You can catch a fish or two, but those baits are a little, for saltwater species, they're a little fragile, and so they will break. Now, in the meantime, they've come out with all kinds. They've got the new Husky jerks. They've got these X-Wraps. They've got just a bunch of different styles that are much more robust in their build and work really well. But that's about the size of the mullet. It's a 5 to, this is about a 6-inch bait, and so 6 to 8, 9 inches. This is a perfect size, and this is the size 14 in that X-Wrap. Black back, silver side, works great. If you can find a glide and wrap around, glide and wraps work really good. And then we go back to, one more. This is called a long cast shallow. And this is a mullet pattern type of a bait without a lip, but it's heavily weighted, so you can throw it really far. So in my case, in the case of guys surf fishing, distance obviously is your friend. So when I'm in the boat, I'm outside of the breakers, but I need to cast into the breakers in many cases. And if I can get my lure, or my customer can get their lure to land on the sand and then pull it into the water, that's ideal, because a lot of those areas have a drop off immediately at the water's edge. There's a
Trough.
there's a 6 to 2 foot in some cases drop off. The fish sit right there.
I find it hilarious. I mean, that's some of the first fishing I did when I moved down here in 84, 85. But they're throwing over top of that trough as far as they can get out. And the guys in the boats are throwing into the trough, from seaside.
Yeah. So if you're standing on the beach, as an example, a good friend of the show, good friend of mine, Captain Gregory Lund, he likes to go out to the beach in the morning and catch snook. Now, Greg has got us wherever he goes. He's got his little spot. He's got his little techniques. He's figured it out. But so a guy that's standing on the beach like Greg is, if you're throwing an artificial, instead of throwing 90 degrees perpendicular to the beach, it's way better to cast at a 45, because you're in closer to that trough and you're pulling it through that trough. Yes, as opposed to it only being in the trough for a short period of time as it comes at a 90 degree intersect across it. So if you can stay in the trough, you're in the bite zone longer. So I always tell people, if you can wade out, and you don't have to go far, knee deep is really all you need to go if you want to get your feet wet at all. But cast at a 45 to the beach, and you'll catch more fish. But these
It's like fishing a canal.
Yes.
It's exactly like fishing a canal.
And so these long casts, with this, especially in the mullet pattern, and the single hooks, the single inlines on it, this is an absolutely deadly bait this time of the year. And you can catch just about everything that swims on this. If you're throwing the lipped version, this is the craziest thing. I figured this out, when I was much younger. If you cast out, and if you have a lure that is running, depending on how deep your tide is and that sort of thing, if you get a lure that's running and going down and the lip is touching the bottom and digging every so often, just like bounce, 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 it'll drag across the sand for a second. You'll feel it, the resistance and the lip dragging there. Then it'll roll on its side, and it'll start to kind of work its way up a little bit, and then it'll right itself, and it'll start to swim again. Well, that rub against the bottom is exactly what mullet do all the time. Mm-hmm. So it makes it look even more natural that the mullet just rubbed the bottom, and then right after the rub, and it starts to come free, and then all of a sudden the lure stops. Well, it stops because something just ate it. Okay, you're reeling continuously, and then all of a sudden, it just stopped. Now, that's a fish. Set the hook. So those are some of my favorite types of lures. And then obviously, we've got our soft plastics. Assassin makes a ton of stuff. They make their dye dappers. They make their 6-inch swim baits. I put that on an ounce and a quarter jig head. They have the Artemis shad, which is the same swim bait, but in a more of a 5-inch size. And look at that pilchard color. Mm-hmm. That's money. That pilchard color in this 5-inch Artemis shad is absolutely money during the mullet run, because that's the same size as everything that's swimming past those fish all day long. And so I put about a 3/4 ounce jig head in that, and you can go down to a half too if it's calm. You can go down to a half, and that is another absolutely fantastic lure to throw. So just some of my favorite things to use whenever I'm fishing along the beach this time of the year when the mullet run kicks in. So keep that one for yourself. I got to take these two. I'm going to be doing a seminar at the Orlando Boat Show today and tomorrow. So if you guys and gals get a chance to come out, we'll have a lot more in-depth look at this particular style of fishing and the lures and the rods and the reels and all of that kind of stuff. But that'll be today and tomorrow at 11 a.m. at the Orlando Boat Show. Hey, guys, we're going to take our next break. When we come back, we're going to got a whole lot more with Captain Jeff Kraynik and myself, so don't go away. We're going to be right back after. Lures from No Live Bait Needed, Rapala, Mirror Lure, and Saltwater Assassin, and one of the largest selections of coolers and boating supplies in the entire state. Well, Ace Hardware in Titusville, that's who. Ace in Titusville is your one-stop shop for all of the fishing and boating supplies you'll need. Ace is just minutes away from the Titusville boat ramps, and their parking lot allows you to get in and out even when you're trailering your boat. Check out the largest selection of fishing and boating gear in the northern Space Coast area at Ace Hardware in Titusville on US 1.
If you listen to this show, you know Captain Jim Ross is a leading authority on light tackle fishing on Florida's Space Coast. Jim grew up on the banks of the Indian River Lagoon and has been a full-time fishing guide for almost 30 years. In that time, Jim's clients have landed over 30,000 trout, redfish, snook, and tarpon from our local waters. So if you're looking for an experienced fishing guide to take you on your next fishing adventure, book a trip with Captain Jim Ross. Just go to finelinefishingcharters.com to book your next trip with Captain Jim and get ready to catch your next
Hey, let me tell you
memory.
about Realtor Daniel Hart. He's a guy that really cares about helping his community and our local lagoons. Daniel has already donated thousands of dollars to the Indian River Lagoon Clam Restoration Project from the proceeds of property he sells, and he continues to do this every time he helps one of you buy or sell a property. This makes a huge impact each year for the water quality of our lagoons. Daniel is also passionate about first responders throughout his community. Through his Heroes Real Estate Group, Heroes Rebate Program, Daniel has personally donated over $70,000 to help police, firefighters, veterans, and even school teachers by returning money to them from the purchases of their homes. Going above and beyond for you is what Realtor Daniel Hart is all about. If you're buying or selling a property, call Realtor Daniel Hart to help. Daniel can be reached at 407-247-3894.
Well, guys and gals, appreciate you tuning back in here. This segment of the show is brought to you by Engel Coolers, and I was using my Engel cooler at the boat show yesterday. As a matter of fact, going to be using it again today. Just my little, that little 13 quart model.
Well, you see, I bought one, so
Yeah.
that thing was great down in the Keys.
Oh, I love them.
Absolutely.
They are worthwhile. That is for sure.
And the new batteries that they have in the lithium bubble pumps, I think they're calling them phase 2, or they updated the batteries. And
Did they?
The chip works, yeah.
Really? I haven't had any problem with them. I've got one of the originals, and it runs and
They've
runs
got
and
two
runs.
sizes now. They got the one for
Standard
the
one. Yeah.
standard, and they got one that's not quite double the size, but it's pretty stocky.
Kind of like an XL size, huh?
Yeah, and I'm actually going to mount that one in the boat and run
Ooh, that's a good
a
idea.
bubbler to it. Yeah,
That's a really good idea.
yeah. It has lasted 2 days. The thing. It's
Yeah,
just-
it runs and runs and runs. Yeah.
But yeah, I bought it well, like I said right before we went to the Keys for the month.
The thing I like about the little Engel cooler / bait wells is that I'll take a frozen water bottle, or actually so I've got the 19 quart size. They come in the 13, the 19, and the 30. But I've got the 19 quart size. That works best for me for putting shrimp in. And I'll take a Gatorade bottle and freeze it, and then put that in there, and then I put my water in, and it pretty much keeps the water cool all day with a Gatorade size bottle. The smaller Gatorade, like the personal size, the little bit bigger one will last definitely last all day, especially even in the summertime when it's real hot.
That's the one mistake I made. I mean, not a mistake, but I wish I would have gotten the size that the 19,
What size did you get?
the small one, the 13, I think it is. It'll fit 3 shrimp in a frozen water bottle, or 4 dozen shrimp with no water bottle.
Yeah.
But it'll keep them alive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's once you chill that water down just a little bit, and I actually Greg turned me onto this stuff. Greg London, I was talking about earlier. He told me about a product called Prime, and they have a water conditioner like you would have for your fish tank. They have a water conditioner one, and then they have one that is more of a bait or a fish saver. It kind of helps with their slime coat, this, that, and the other. And I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now, but if you look it up, you can find it on. I think I got it off Amazon.
Yeah, I've used I can't remember the name of it now. The green stuff for years.
Yeah, you just put a little capful in any of those bait savers. You put that in there, and the shrimp will last half again as long.
And when we were tournament fishing, you got to watch. Don't put too much in when you've got some redfish or some big fish in there.
Right.
It'll bring them right back to life. Need to just go slow on it.
Right.
Just to keep the fish healthy. But a lot of tournaments, they're catch, photo, and release now. So
Yeah. Speaking of catch, photo, and release, Captain Jeffrey Page's tournament is coming up, the Go Live event. You can be anywhere in the Southeast
Yep.
and fish this thing.
Yep.
It's, the biggest, I think it's the longest measurement of trout, and then a redfish up to 9 pounds. It can be any length, but it can't be over 9 pounds. So you want one that weighs right at 9 pounds on your scale, and it's a go live event. So you sign up for it.
Download the app.
Download the app, and then when you catch a fish, you go live on Facebook. And you video what you're doing with the weigh, the weigh of the fish, or the measuring of the fish, if in the case of the trout. And it's all to help Jeffrey Pates. He's got interstitial lung disease, so he's having to undergo some pretty heavy duty. They've got him almost like in a barometric chamber with oxygen to try and help him.
Yeah, I saw
And
somebody was posting yesterday and the day before.
Yeah, Bree's put up a bunch of posts. Bree Gabrielle has put up a bunch of posts about it. Unfortunately, his insurance doesn't cover it, and it's pretty darn expensive. So this Go Live event is going to be held here. Let me pull up the information on it. It's going to be held on September 27th, so 2 weeks from now. It starts at 6:30 a.m., goes to 1:30 p.m., and it's a red and trout tournament. It's part of the Redfish Nation Go Live series. So you can go to the nationalredfishtour.com and sign up for this. The nationalredfishtour.com. Sign up. And actually they've got some QR codes and things like that you can scan. Payouts $2,500 for first, pays through fifth place at $700. And
oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's going to be a good event, but it's just all to help Jeffrey out. Legendary captain on the West Coast, and unfortunately, as guides, we don't always have the best health insurance.
If they'll give it to you at all.
If they'll give it to you at all, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So like when I am searching for health insurance, I put in fishing guide, I get totally different results than if I put in radio show host. Totally different pricing, totally different results.
Now we're walking melanomas.
Yeah. Among other things.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting that when you put your job description, what comes up. So try that sometime. You're gonna be.
I will.
You're gonna. Well, you have insurance.
I do.
Through your wife.
No, I've got it through the police department.
Oh, do you still? Okay. So
I stayed with the city when I left. Yeah. A lot of guys left, figuring they can make a little bit more money.
Right.
Because it was so cheap when Obamacare started, and then the first year came around, and some of their rates doubled and tripled.
Yeah.
They tried to come back,
and then they went, "Wait a minute." Yeah.
City won't let them back, so
crazy. Well, let's see what we got going on here. We got Danny Beard's on this morning with us. Yeah. David Giovannini's on this morning. Kyle Weaver's on, calling in from where's he at? Punta del something in the Azores. Whenever he posts, it says Punta del. I forgot. Something.
I know where he is.
Liz Barker's on with us this morning. Good morning. Jacob Hackenberg, William Stratton, Carl Pappas, Butch McCoy, good morning to you. Bo Bergeron's out there, good morning. Mike Kipp, good morning. Dave Yeomans, a lot of other people. So we appreciate you guys and gals tuning in every Saturday to listen to the show. Hopefully, I'm not sure if my good buddy Daryl is on there this morning, but hopefully he is. Sometimes it's interesting. Sometimes you don't show up, and sometimes you do.
For what?
On the feed.
Oh, really?
As an example, Blair and Kerry Wiggins watch it through whatever streaming service they have. They kind of watch it through that, and they never show up. Every once in a while, I'll see them actually show up on the feed, but they're there every week.
I got a message yesterday from Facebook congratulating me on having unique content. So they're going to show my posts to more people. I didn't sign up for anything,
Right.
but I'll have to forward. It's pretty funny. It's like, social media playing the game, new algorithms, but they told me my content was unique.
Well, that's good. At least they didn't say it sucked.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay.
They could say your content's horrible. We're shutting you down.
You could, as a hunting and fishing guide, you could spend a whole day during your week doing nothing but social media stuff.
I know.
And you still fall behind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is amazing. Some of the things, when you wear every hat as a small business, and I know all you small business owners out there know this, when you are the receptionist, when you are HR, when you are the CEO, when you are the janitor, when you wear all of those hats, it is amazing how much time you can commit in your day just to making your business run smoothly.
And guides are terrible at calling clients back.
Or they don't pick the phone up at all.
Right. I just, and
and that's an epidemic because it's getting worse. Okay. I'm not going to name names, but I've got a dozen guys that I call weekly, and 3 of them will pick the phone up. And the other 9 may every 3rd or 4th call pick the phone up, and then they'll call you back. Like half of those guys will call you back within 2 days, and then the other half will text you 6 days later and go, "Oh, hey man, I'm sorry, I forgot to give you a call back last week."
Yep.
And it's like, okay, well, I mean, I appreciate you getting back to me, but I had a multi-boat trip I was trying to get you lined up for, and I've already filled the spot. So, it's normally that kind of a thing where I'm calling to try to give them business, and yet,
well,
but they go, "Man, it's been so slow. I haven't been on the water in 3 days." Blah blah blah. Well, what are you doing?
You're one of the busiest guys I know when it comes to that. If you're not on the water, you're doing.
I'm trying to do something.
Shake the trees.
Yeah. Well, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, I'm at the boat show.
Right.
Do the radio show this morning. I was in Miami Tuesday and Wednesday, filling in for Rick on the TV shows, for the Texas and Florida Insiders. Monday I fished. So Monday I fished. Tuesday, Wednesday I was in Miami filming. Thursday I fished. Friday was boat show. Saturday's radio show, then boat show and seminar, and Sunday's seminar and boat show.
You do need to come into the 21st century, though, when it comes to paying your bills.
No, they can get a check and like it. A paper check.
You drive
and like
all the way back from the Keys, being down there for a month just to do your bills.
They can get a paper check and like it. I don't want anybody having access to my account without
They have access anyways.
Well, they probably do. But you know what I'm saying. There's auto withdrawals and yeah.
My wife fought it for a long time, and then, once a month she sits down.
I'll work on it. I'll work on that. Well, we're going to take another little break here at the top of the hour. We're going to come right back with a whole nother hour of Catch a Memory after these messages, so don't go away. Hey, guys and gals, welcome back. We appreciate you tuning in every Saturday right here to CatchAMemoryOutdoors.com. And, of course, right here listening on the radio. You can get us on the WWBC app. That's the radio station's app. You can also listen to us on your streaming service, which is CatchAMemoryOutdoors.com. Click on the Listen Live tab. And you can watch us on Facebook. So lots of different ways to get Catch a Memory Outdoors. This is hour number 2. I'm Captain Jim Ross. For those of you that are just joining us this morning, maybe you're on the drive going somewhere on Saturday morning, and maybe you're on your way to the ball game. Maybe you got some college football going on today you're driving to. But we appreciate you tuning in every Saturday right here to Catch a Memory. And I've got my good buddy, Captain Jeff Kraynik, is in the studio with me this morning. So, Jeff, we're going to get back to talking about some duck hunting in here in just a minute. But we've got a caller on the line. Captain Troy Perez is on the line. And I hear drag. So I hear drag peeling off. So, Troy.
Bring them to the left. To the left. Bring them left. Bring them left. Go down low.
Yeah. Hey. Play by play. Play by play. Here we go.
Hey.
Talk it up, Troy. Talk it up.
We're hooked up. right when I called you, we hooked up.
All right.
It's on fire.
You in the lagoon or are you on the beach today?
In the lagoon.
In the lagoon, yeah.
Really good in the lagoon. Red fishing's been really good. no matter where I go, too.
That's a great thing. I mean, that mullet run is starting to kick in, and the fish are responding all through the intracoastal and on the beach.
Oh, yeah. And you were saying something about duck hunting. There's tons of teal out here right now.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They're flying around big flocks of them. I've been seeing them.
Well, Jeff,
I got a report
Jeff
this week.
Up. Yeah.
No, I got a couple phone calls this week that they saw teal moving south already.
Yeah. I don't know where they're going, but I just see them flying around everywhere I drive.
Cuba and the Bahamas. And
So there's an early teal season coming up, though.
yeah, here in 5 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, you're normally the third weekend of September.
Okay.
But the blue-wing teal numbers are down. So they took those 4 days that we had,
I'll take a picture.
and it's back to a 5-day season instead of a 9-day season.
Gotcha.
So,
But green wing teal still open.
yep.
And
Well, blue wing are too. They just don't want you whacking them 4 extra days in September.
Gotcha.
So
Let them.
I got it.
I guess mate, roost. What are they? I mean, what are they waiting for?
well, they say hunting doesn't. Let's talk to Troy. I don't know.
Okay. Well, it sounded like he was still struggling with a fish over there. Troy,
Yeah, we're releasing them.
did you
We're
get?
releasing them right now.
I was gonna say, you get them corralled up yet? What'd you have there?
Redfish.
Gotcha.
Redfish is just really good right now.
Bait or lures or both?
Bait. I can't see them. It's just bait. It's really dirty here in the lagoon and grassy, so it's hard to use a lure. So we just soak bait out there, and it's been everywhere you go. Any point where the wind's blowing, you get a fish.
That's awesome.
It's been like it used to be, where you can just pretty much go anywhere and get one. Or catch more than one. We already caught how many? 4? 4 already.
You know, Troy, it's this time of the year. Obviously, the fish really decide it's time to start eating. Once they feel that fall-ish. Well, I guess we could call it still summer because we're in Florida. When they feel that still summer is gone past summer and it's now still summer. That's
but it's bearable right now.
yeah. That's when they start to feed, and they that's the trigger in the lagoons. And of course, I'm sure there's plenty of bait fish around right now.
Oh yeah, Indian River's good too. So
yeah.
But I do have a question.
How
do you tell a blue wing tail and a green wing tail?
I'll ask Jeff.
Until you
After I've shot it, if I actually hit it and it hits the water, I'll ask Jeff, what was that?
Looking at them on the wing, if they're darting around, the green wing teal dart way quicker than the blue wings do.
Okay.
They fly, they'll fly and they'll juke back and forth.
Kind of like a snipe.
Yeah. Well, snipe, if you don't hit it between the peep and the poop, it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, but
I'm just wondering. I was looking at them. I was like, I can't tell you what they are. I just know they're teal.
I'm saying they're blue wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can tell the difference between a mottled duck, a teal, a tree duck,
and
a cormorant.
Well, don't forget the ones at the house. Don't forget the ones at the house.
Yeah, the black bellies. I can tell the black bellies. They're pretty easy.
Well, reel that one up, throw it to the left.
Yep. Did I tell you?
Hey, let me ask you another question about duck hunting.
Okay.
Is how come there's so many more whistlers now than there ever was before?
Because they breed like rabbits.
Huh?
They breed like rabbits. They're actually geese, I should say. And on a warm year like it's been so far, they may throw 3 clutches in a year.
Yeah. We've had 2 in our pond.
Yeah. They breed like rabbits.
Yeah.
Not so much with the fulvus, but with the black bellies, they're everywhere now. Yep. And the Egyptian geese are coming on strong too.
What's that, Troy?
In years past, we never had them like this, did we? In the last couple of years, it seems like there's more and more of them.
They've really gotten thick in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
For sure. So, you were talking about these Egyptian geese. Have you seen any of those, Troy?
I don't know what that is.
They're a real pretty goose. They've got a lot of colorful head,
and they got circles around their eyes.
Yeah, they're really kind of pretty. But you say they don't taste very good.
No, I don't know.
Or is that you're just putting that out there so that nobody shoots them, so you can shoot them?
You know,
Like, no, that cobia doesn't taste very good. You need to I'll take care of that for you. You just don't worry about that cobia.
no, I just don't shoot them anymore. You know, shot a couple. It's like shooting sea ducks.
Yeah.
You know, you can't eat the meat. I mean,
no, but why though?
Oh, it tastes worse than fish. It's like
What do you mean fish?
like if you don't bleed a kingfish or a blue.
Yeah.
They taste worse than that.
Wow.
It's just their diet. You know, people say snow goose really bad too. I don't have a problem with snow goose. I'll eat that all day.
Right.
But yeah, the Egyptian geese are just.
I want to eat a sandhill.
Ribeye of the sky, baby.
I just can't do it here in Florida.
Ribeye of the sky.
I got to go to Texas or somewhere where they are legal to shoot.
Yep.
You know? Now, so there's another question. Why are they legal to shoot in Texas and not legal to shoot in Florida?
Whooping cranes. That is, they're afraid that somebody is going to kill one of those whooping cranes up in the Panhandle or in the Big Bend area. I've never seen them out of that area, but they don't want us making a mistake on them.
Gotcha. Okay.
But if you wanna set a bunny hugger off, tell them that our sandhill cranes are not genetically different than the ones in Texas, because they're not.
But they will argue that fact.
They will argue that fact with you.
Yeah. So Troy, cut bait or live bait this morning?
Cut bait.
Gotcha. Okay.
The live bait. It seems like there's something with the oxygen in the water. There's been a lot of tarpon too, a lot of big tarpon on the flat. And I was putting some live finger mullet out, and they hit the water, and they're dead.
Yeah, so, oxygen level's definitely low then.
Yeah. So when we get into redfish, I unhook them as quick as I can and get them back in the water because everything's. Well, actually, I caught a big trout yesterday, and he was pretty good. I released him. He didn't float up. But, I mean, them mullet, when I throw them in the water, they seem to die.
Yeah, so it's just easier not to run the bait pump. Just keep them on in a Ziploc bag. Net them fresh, but put them in a Ziploc bag and keep them on a little ice so that they kind of stay firm, and just cut the tail off and throw them out that way.
Yeah, I just been cutting them in chunks.
Yeah.
Just using chunks. I mean, I use pinfish if I can get them, but, you know, we haven't had a really good population of big pinfish like we used to get. So I'd rather use a pinfish because they're hardier. They're more like you could catch 3 or 4 fish on one. So.
Yes.
But you wouldn't believe sometimes I'll be sitting here and 3 or 4, 40 to 100 pound tarpon swim right by the boat while I'm on the flats.
Really?
Oh yeah. But I couldn't get them the other day. I tried them. I've tried them for a little bit.
Are you just seeing them wake by, or are they just milling around?
They'll wake by and roll and stuff. I actually went straight across from Hollover today. I saw some the other day that were right by Twin Palms, and I didn't see them this morning. I kind of looked for them this morning.
Yeah.
But I didn't see them. They're in some in Hollover right now. When I went in, coming through the dark, I seen a couple roll, some, big ones.
How is the bioluminescence right now? Can you see it very good?
Believe it or not, it's really good because I told a charter the other day, was it last week? I think it was a week before, and I said there was none out here, but it was in the Indian River for sure. But now the lagoon's got it. It wasn't a week ago. It wasn't not here, but now it is here. It's pretty thick. I mean, when you could run at night. Oh, look at that. That boat just ran by, and I see a school of fish coming at us. Look at that.
It was nice of them to bump them up for you, huh?
Oh, yeah. It slicked off just now. It's been windy, and it just slicked off, and I could see a school. That's why we're catching them.
Yeah.
We're fixing to hook up here in a second.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Strategically place those baits out there on the flat as the fish come by. They'll just pick them up. And
yeah. And the problem is right now there's a lot of grass, so you kind of can't really see it, but you got to throw around. Like if you get grass in one spot, you kind of move it to the left or right of where you've been casting, and there's no grass. And then, because when it gets solid grass, you ain't catching them.
Yeah, you just need to find that pothole.
Yeah, but you can't see it because it's pretty dirty. I can't see the bottom.
Yeah. Is it better the farther north you go in the lagoon, or is it just dirty the whole way up?
Indian River seems to be cleaner than that lagoon. The lagoon's been filthy.
Gotcha. Even up around really Preachers and Tiger and up there?
Oh, yeah. It's filthy.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you could see outlines of grass pods and stuff, but it's not really easy to see the fish. I mean, unless they're right on the surface, you can see them.
Gotcha. Well, buddy, we are up against our next break. How does somebody get a hold of you if they want to get out and do some fishing?
Just give me a call, and I guess you could text me too at 321-607-2033.
Awesome. Captain Troy Perez, the best in the business right there, folks. That guy right there has been catching more fish than the rest of us combined for decades now.
OG.
He is, man.
OG.
Appreciate the call, buddy. You take care.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye now. Yeah, Troy is a magician. I mean, he can pull, you take him to the Sahara Desert and he'd find a tailing redfish. The guy's amazing. Anyway, in fact, when I caught my world record, Troy and I were fishing together, and I caught my world record triple tail on fly. And it was funny because just before we go to break, he's like, hey, that's a world record. And I'm like, no, it's not. He goes, that's 8-pound tippet, right? And I'm like, yeah, but I was looking for Kobe. I was trying to get a Kobe world record. And he goes, well, that triple tail is a world record. I said, no. He goes, it is. He goes, it's bigger than mine, and I currently hold the world record for that tippet. Okay.
Again, OG.
So it's kind of funny that I just happened to be fishing with the guy that held the current world record and didn't even realize because that wasn't the species I was trying to target. Anyway, you guys and gals, if you get a chance to give Troy a call, he's awesome. We're going to be right back with Captain
Come on.
Captain Jeff. I was looking at Captain Jeffrey Page here. Captain Jeffrey Kraynik and myself, Jim Ross, after these messages. Dirty footprints and spilled food all create a mess on your boat's deck. Here's a fast and easy solution to clean them. Starbright Ultimate Extreme Clean. Just spray it on the spot, hit it with a deck brush, and rinse it off. Dirty vinyl cushions, greasy drips around your outboard, even those suspicious stains your fishing buddy always seems to leave behind, don't stand a chance when you squirt a little Ultimate Extreme Clean on them. Starbright Ultimate Extreme Clean works great to clean your grill and around the house. You can use it on your truck or lawnmower. It gets greasy stains out of clothing too. Just spray it on any greasy spot, give it a light rub, and they'll look like new again. Make sure you pick up some Starbright Ultimate Extreme Clean and lose those greasy stains today. Assassin, the most trusted name in bass fishing, is also the top soft plastic lure brand for saltwater species. Sea trout, tarpon, redfish, and snook can't resist a saltwater Assassin 4-inch sea shad. Its amazing swimming action sets the bar for swim bait designs. Others continue to try, but no one has been able to replicate the action of this incredible minnow-style lure. But Assassin has other proven designs. The native shiner-colored 5-inch shad Assassin is my go-to lure when I'm targeting big trout. Redfish love the drunk monkey or the mudbug-colored 4-inch Assassin shrimp. And snook and tarpon love their new little P&V dart bait in watermelon red flake or Houdini colors. You can rig these lures on a weedless worm hook or on the amazing Assassin Spring Lock jig head. So these are just a few of my favorite Assassin lures that help me and my customers stay happy. Check out what top professional anglers have known for years. Assassin lures simply catch more fish. Stop in your local tackle store or go to bassassassin.com to check out this incredible lure for yourself. Hey guys, gals, welcome back. We appreciate you tuning in every Saturday right here to Catch Your Memory Outdoors. We're going to go right back to the phone lines. We've got Aaron Harmoning on the line this morning. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Jim. How you doing?
I am doing great. It's good to hear from you.
Yeah, I hear you might need a little waterfowl education there.
I always do. I'm always willing to accept some information when I can get it. That is for sure.
So you got some good help there. I think you're in good hands.
I definitely do. Definitely do.
Well,
so anyhow, I was calling in. I know that we spoke briefly and recently. I don't know if you guys had a chance to talk about it at all in the show.
You know, we haven't, and so I appreciate you calling in. This is going to be a interesting segment.
Yeah. So I don't know how much the listeners are aware of some of the things that are going on in the North Brevard area, but SpaceX is applying for a license through the FAA to launch their Starship Super Heavy out at the pad 39A, which, for those that don't know, is about the second most northern launch pad and the closest to the Refuge and Play Linda.
Yeah, Play Linda Beach.
And their application, it poses, right now it's in the stage of findings where FAA has to go through and evaluate different sections, one of which is environmental impact. And they have already had their public meetings, but it is still open for public comments until September 22nd, and I'm kind of feverishly looking for that information as we speak. But basically, what I spent a lot of time researching and a lot of time speaking with the FAA themselves and the environmental people they have there, and I got a lot of good information, and I wanted to share it with the listeners because it's very important. Also, in fact, Blair Wiggins had phoned in on the last it was like a webinar public meeting and stated a lot of really good things.
Well, Blair would have an inside track on that because he actually used to work on the shuttle program. He was one of the guys that they put in hazmat suits to send out to the pad as fire suppression, if I remember correctly, in some cases. So, that's the reason all the PFAS is in the lagoon waters, and that's why I have been told don't eat anything that comes out of the lagoon because the PFAS is a highly toxic, cancerous forming type of a legacy chemical, and it's in everything up in the lagoon that lives there. So I've been told by multiple biologists don't eat anything from the lagoon or North River area, and I've taken that to heart. But Blair would know because he was out there shooting firefighting foam around the pad, and so he knows what has saturated into the ground out there.
What exactly are they proposing?
So they're going to shut down, or want to shut down, a lot of the refuge, a lot of Playa Linda, a lot of the beach area that we fish on a regular basis, is what Aaron was telling me.
Yeah, because I know at one point.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said at one point they were looking at that property right next to Shiloh 5.
Correct.
To set off the big heavies, and
the Shiloh launch facility proposal by SpaceX was back in, I think, 2014, and the FAA actually did a no action on that and did not allow that to move forward. So we were successful in that respect. But so here's a little bit of the key tips that I think I just kind of wanted to call in and speak with and speak to the public in regards to some of the misunderstandings that were going on and how we can actually make an impact. So number one is they have the FAA go in and they talk to all the I'm on the radio, baby. Sorry. They go. Sorry, my son just walked in. They go and talk to all the agencies, and they collect all the agencies' data, and they make this executive summary, and they put together all this stuff. But what they're missing is the public's input, and that means exactly what you just said, Jim. That there are some chemical issues in the lagoon, or like we had discussed, when the launches happen, it really does affect the fish. Because what I heard when I went to the meetings and I talked to these professionals that are not from our area, they're saying, okay, well, the vibrations don't affect the animals, and we know that. And if you go out to the pad, you can see the redfish right there by the launch pads, and so they're not affected. And in their mind, they don't think that the wildlife is being impacted at all, and they don't have any proof that says otherwise. And so the whole point of public comment is to say, hey guys, yes, is an impact, and this is what it is. And they also like suggested resolutions because they're also crowdsourcing for ideas. And I know that for a fact because one of my ideas I had brought up was because of the proposed closures, and I know I'll get back to Jeff's question about what are they actually proposing, but they are proposing to do closures for safety and security purposes. And that's going to be when you're talking about the north side. Now, they have to be very vague, obviously, because this is all hypothetical because they don't know exactly the dates and so on and so forth of launches and the trajectories. But they will be closing Playa Linda Beach for launches. Now, the Starship Heavy is a little bit different. There's a launch and then a landing and a landing. That because it's 2 stages, you have the launch and then basically the immediate or close to time, the landing of the boosters, and then when the second stage comes back, the landing. And what people don't really understand is that all 3 are equally as loud and equally as effective to the safety zones and precautionary measures. In fact, the landings are even more loud, but are in a subsonic pressure, package essentially, and they actually affect more of us because they come across the state of Florida most likely and will cause a lot of airspace, air traffic stops and closures. But going back to the environment, they're going to have to close Playa Linda. They can't tell you where that's going to be. Is that line going to be right over Max Brewer? Is it going to be, they haven't made those types of decisions yet. But I would think it would definitely
based on the launch and the trajectory, they may say, okay, everything east of the Max Brewer Causeway Bridge is now closed.
I mean, it could.
So Black Point Wildlife Drive, the Gator Creek Loop, all of that would be impacted with that launch. Because I can tell you, when that thing goes off, the blast radius is pretty impressive. I've talked to guys that were out in Texas where they've done some testing, and they said it absolutely flattens everything around there. I mean, it's a pretty big blast radius around there. When you talk about environmental impact, I know that you just mentioned something about, well, the redfish are right next to the pad. Well, yeah, on a Falcon launch, but we're talking about something that's 3 or 4 times bigger than a Falcon.
It's actually 10 times louder than a Falcon 9. I think it's 5 times louder than a Falcon 9 Heavy.
Well, I can tell you from my personal experience that whenever I'm fishing, and if I'm just outside of the zone, let's say the zone goes to the tip of the Cape and I'm fishing tarpon in Canaveral Bight. Let's just say halfway between the port and the tip of the Cape, just a roughly 2 miles up the beach or 2 miles from the tip of the Cape, 2 miles outside of the zone. When a launch goes off, it will shut the tarpon bite down. And it will shut it down for almost an hour in some cases before they'll start biting again. And if they bring the boosters back to this location, it'll shut it down for another 30 or 40 minutes. The tarpon in particular, I don't know about redfish, but I can tell you tarpon do not like those rumblings, and it will absolutely shut that bite down. So if I've learned through experience that if I'm targeting tarpon and the launch goes off, it's time to go target another species because I'm wasting my time and my client's time, which is money. They're paying money to be on the boat. It's wasting their time to try to pursue that fish for the next, hour or so.
Well, so if we get that, so yes, I mean, I can't say that they're going to make that line at the Max Brewer Bridge, but I think they most definitely will closer to that could affect BioLab and the lagoon. And as far as the port goes, a lot of the majority of the projected trajectories are going to be your northeast, but there are possibilities of southeast. They will try to be as, stay away from interrupting the port traffic as possible because of the cruise lines and so on and so forth. But we're talking about restrictions out to 12 miles. And that can be, for some of the landings can affect the port. I do know that there is some research and organizations happening on the commercial fishing side of things that they have got going on for the projected profit loss. They had a caller call in and speak to that and how that will affect the commercial fishing and the processors there at the port, and how basically when I spoke with some of the members, they do want to hear us and how that affects our fishing, our businesses, how that could affect you guys' ultimate profit. So I guess my point is this is not a done deal. I mean, it's very strongly possible that this is going to get passed, but it doesn't mean that we can't be heard and that there can't be some additional mitigation written into this license that's going to protect some of the areas that we need protected. And that's mostly you guys, and us. I mean, me and Carl were recreational, but guides that actually make a living at this really need to speak out and come up with some ideas to help the FAA protect you guys. And the commercial fishing, they're one step ahead of you. They already got it going. Hopefully I can just piggyback on that with them to help protect you guys. And kind of set up a process for what that would look like. So I'm kind of out here mostly asking for anglers and hunters to really reach out in a public comment and say, hey, these launches do affect the animals. Because right now, all of the agencies, that they're getting all their data, they don't have that information. They're not getting that information, If you got, I really do need a really big public push to comment on how the launches do affect the wildlife and how it does affect, ecotourism and the profits, of you guys' businesses. Because right now they're looking to hopefully ask SpaceX to supplement some of the loss that's going to happen to Canaveral National Seashores and Merritt Island Wildlife Refuge because of the closures.
Gotcha.
So that mitigation conversation is already happening, and this is the moment. We have this moment between now and September 22nd to really make a push to help support you guys and how this is going to affect you.
So, real quick, how does somebody do that?
So right now, there's two ways to do the public comment, and that is going to be either via online, or it's going to be, which is what I will do, or you can do it by mail, and it will be submitted as long as it's post-stamped by September 22nd.
Gotcha.
And I'm feverishly looking through my 800-page document that I have here for that information, but also, Jim, is there a way that we can share that? Where would be the best place if I can just share it online? Would it be? Go ahead.
I was going to say that there's a lot of different social media sites that it can be done at. But I tell you what, Aaron, while you look for that contact information, either the address to mail to, an emailable site, or a phone number, we're going to take a quick break and we'll come back to you, okay?
Sounds good.
All right. Guys and gals, hold on. We're going to be right back with some information for you to make a public comment after these messages, so don't go away.
I'm sure you're aware of the ongoing projects out there that are aimed at restoring seagrass and water quality in the Indian River Lagoon system. Well, here's one that I'm proud to have played a role in getting started, the Indian River Lagoon Clam Restoration Project. I collaborated with Whitney Labs, CCA, the FWC, and many other partners to implement this clam restoration project right here on Florida's East Coast. I would love for every one of you to get involved with this program. Your $20 donation will put 200 clams back into our lagoons. As they grow, these 200 clams will filter over 1 million gallons of lagoon water per year, greatly impacting the health of our local waters. Your contributions are tax deductible, so please help our lagoon by donating $20, $50, $100 or more to this cause. You can make your donation online at IndianRiverClamProject.org/support. Again, that's IndianRiverClamProject.org/support. And on behalf of myself and our waters in the lagoon, we thank you.
Sunrise Marina Bait and Tackle Shop. They've been serving Brevard County anglers for over 25 years. Sunrise has all of the gear that you hardcore anglers need for a productive day on the water, and they've got frozen baits like ballyhoo, sardines, squid, and more. Plus, Sunrise Marina has a great selection of live baits, shrimp, pinfish, croakers, mud minnows, fiddler crabs, and a whole lot more. So if you're looking for tackle, rods and reels, boating accessories, fresh-made sandwiches, or your favorite beverages, Sunrise Marina has got everything for you, and you can ice it all down with some bagged or bulk ice at their convenient, trailer boat-friendly drive-thru. Sunrise Marina also stocks some really cool nautical gifts, as well as the performance clothing and casual clothing that anglers like you and me like to wear. Make sure you stop by Sunrise Marina before heading out before your next fishing adventure. They're easy to find right across the street from Grill's Restaurant at 505 Glen Cheek Drive in Port Canaveral. Hey guys and gals, welcome back. We appreciate you tuning in every Saturday right here to Catch a Memory Outdoors. This segment of the show is brought to you by Petrucci Insurance. If you guys and gals haven't gotten a rate quote done yet, call Petrucci, 321-632-1200. That's 632-1200, and have them do a rate quote on your car, home, or boat insurance. And hopefully you guys and gals can save a little money with Petrucci. That's what they do. They save people money every day. So 321-632-1200. That's the call-in you got to give them a call, and make sure that you're not paying too much for your insurance. We're going to go back to the phone lines. We got Aaron Harmoning on the line right now, and Aaron was talking to us about some potential closures due to new rockets that are being requested to be launched out at the Space Center, and how those closures are going to affect both recreational and commercial fishermen, duck hunters, bird watchers, just sightseers in general. You know, Pastor Paul, our producer, goes up to the Gator Creek wildlife area twice a month in some cases, sometimes more, and drives around up there just checking it out. So obviously these closures are not just going to impact people that are working on the water, but just every citizen that lives here as well. Aaron, are you there?
Yeah, and to that effect, I mean, if you go back to the waterfowl, you know, one of my thoughts is you're only allowed to be out there on Wednesdays and Saturdays and Sundays, you know. So, I mean, that's how it used to be when I hunted anyhow. But, I mean, if they have a launch on a Wednesday, well, there you go. That's, you know, depending on the time, you could be closed out. So,
yeah. and they let us know that day is not going to be available, but you don't get your money back.
Right. Well, especially what if you have a permit for Peacock's Pocket, then you're out and that stinks. You know?
They say that sorry.
Yeah, you know, sorry, you're at a loss for that experience, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So they are going to be. They're really big right now, especially out in Texas and on SpaceX, about making public notifications of the launches. However, as we know, living here, there can be mechanical delays, there can be weather delays, and so even though they say, hey, this is the time of the launch, that doesn't mean that's not going to get bumped. The proposal right now is for 44 launches and then 44 landings times 2, because like I explained earlier, the landings are, you know, but it's really because the first landing comes so closely behind the launch, it's really more like 88 closures is what they'll be looking at. And then, of course, they try to divide that half in the morning, half at night. So then that's where they come up with their 60 days. And there will be full days or half days and blah, blah, blah. But anyhow, my point being is they have some metrics in here in regards to the projected losses. And based on my conversation, this loss is actually undershot. It's going to be changed and increased. But the Canaveral National Seashores and Merritt Island Wildlife Refuge is looking at annual fee loss potentially between $240,000 and $260,000. Annually, and that's about an 18% loss for them. So like I said, they're already working at mitigation in how to have SpaceX supplement this loss. So I'm saying this to you now. We need to come up with a plan and a support system to let them know how this is affecting you guys. I really would like for the angler or for the charter captains and the ecotourism guides to really comment on what you face already as your challenges for the weather and the species changes seasonally and so on and so forth. And then now on top of this is going to add another dimension to it, especially with some of your personal experiences on the changes based on launches. And you can do that. I'm going to give this, I gave it I text you, Jim, as well, but you can do that online at www.regulations.gov. You're going to, and this is why I need to put it, I think, out on the internet because there's so much to this. You're going to search for docket number FAA-2024-1395, and you're going to click on the comment button and you'll enter your information and hit submit. You can also mail it physically, USPS snail mail, to Miss Eva Long, Long, at FAA Environmental Protection Specialist, care of LEIDOS, and that is 2877 Guardian Lane, Virginia Beach, Virginia 23452. So I would like to get that out on the internet as well, Jim, so that people can just go in and look.
Yeah, Jim, did you get the address right? Because we know you're going to be sending one in by mail.
Yeah, coming in the mail with the check.
Yeah, as long as it's post stamped by September 22nd. But like I said, I would like to see some sort of mitigation put into play for you guys, because I think, I don't know if they were discussing it earlier, but Falcon license is getting increased to 150. This is going to be another 88 plus. I mean, it's just going to be a constant rotation, and it's really going to start affecting the wildlife, the water, waterways.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
Have you contacted Delta Waterfowl in regards to the mitigation and the
I had reached out to United Waterfowlers.
Well, they're pretty much gone. But
right.
Delta, you can't get DU involved in a lot of it, even though we've spent a lot of money out there. They're not allowed to politic per se. Right. Where Delta Waterfowl, they're more into research and the kind of stuff that you're doing, where they can interject and be part of projects like this because it doesn't go against their charter.
Right, and I had, back when I was really strong, United Waterfowlers was stronger than Delta was in our area. So
yeah,
that's just a
sadly
shift I wasn't made aware of.
Yeah, sadly that has changed a lot.
Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah,
Aaron,
I'll definitely reach out
can you do all of our listeners a favor? And
sure.
For those of us that do have Facebook, can you post that? Can you go to the live feed when we get off the phone?
Oh, yeah.
And post the information that you just gave, as far as
and make it shareable,
where they can comment at the regulations.gov, and then the docket number, and then also that physical address to mail a letter to. If you could post that in the comment section, that way all the listeners could have that information. And if they're fishermen or bird watchers or manatee watchers or whatever, then they can obviously make comment on how the closures are going to affect them.
Yeah, it has a potential to really, really affect those of us who like to enjoy, go outdoors and enjoy the woods and the water in peace and quiet, and how it's going to make an impact. And sadly, I really don't think that the agencies that are giving the data really understand that, and they don't want to hear complaints. They don't want to hear, no, we don't want it. They want to hear, hey, this is how this is impacted. These are how the launches are impacting either what we see in the environment or us as far as our businesses. And this is how we can, here's some suggestions that we can, do. And some of my suggestions are going to be some holiday closures, certain allowances to so that, maybe during waterfowl season, you don't do launches on Wednesdays. I know this is going to be a headache for SpaceX, but listen, this is their commercial business, and they're coming into our home, our backyard, and we need to push back a little bit and make sure that they respect us because we were here first, essentially.
You're exactly right about that. Well, Aaron, we're against our next break, but thank you so much for the call and the time this morning and all of the education for the listeners out there, and we're looking forward to being able to take advantage of that and write some, like you say, some suggestions that may help form and script what it is that we see coming here in the next couple of years.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me, Jim.
Thank you. Bye-bye now. That's very, very interesting. You don't think about the impacts and the long-term impacts. But when they're talking about that many launches of that magnitude, that's going to be,
like I said,
definitely going to be impactful.
We thought for sure we were going to lose the Shiloh 5 property. We really thought with the politicians that were in there at the time, Shiloh 5 is going to be gone, if not completely. but it's going to highly impact the duck hunting community.
Yeah.
And we said, why are you building more launch facilities when you've got all these pads that nobody really cares about historical value of them? Tear them down, put up some new stuff, and put them out on the beach.
Yeah.
All we did was move the problem.
Well, it's better where it's at.
Yeah.
You know, it's better where it's at. Well, guys and gals, we're going to take our last break of the day. When we come back, Captain Jeff Kraynik and myself will be right here for the last couple of minutes of the show, so don't go away. The enzymes in StarTron improve the quality of all fuels so engines start easier, even if they haven't been run for several months. Don't just stabilize your fuel, tune it with StarTron. StarTron enzyme fuel treatment can also be used in 2- and 4-stroke engines, trucks, lawnmowers, generators, motorcycles, four-wheelers, basically anything that runs on gas. You can also get StarTron diesel fuel treatment for your truck, boat, or tractor, or construction equipment. If you want to fuel more power, tune your fuel with StarTron. Is your home under attack from pests or termites? Or have furry wildlife made themselves way too comfortable in your attic? At Integrity Pest Management, they specialize in getting rid of pests, termites, and wildlife safely and effectively. With years of experience and commitment to integrity, they protect your home from unwanted invaders using eco-friendly and efficient solutions. Don't wait for the damage to pile up. Call Integrity Pest Management today for a free inspection and let them restore peace and security to your home. Call 321-637-1199 or visit them at integritypestmanagement.com. Integrity Pest Management, where your home safety and your peace of mind are their top priority. Hey guys and gals, welcome back. This segment of the show is brought to you by Starbright and the Cleaning Solutions segment, and it's also brought to you by Strike Zone in Melbourne. Now, as far as the Cleaning Solutions segment for Starbright goes, you know, one of the things that I really have started to enjoy using is their aluminum polish. And anything that's on your boat that's aluminum, this aluminum polish, it's weird because it draws the impurity out of the aluminum, like your grab rails and your any of those aluminum that you're on your T-top, anything that starts to get this little staining or pitting. If you really want to go to town, you can work on your trailer, and you'll see a lot of stuff come out of it too. That's just a lot of work, especially in the heat of the summer. That might be a wintertime deal, but that aluminum cleaner and polish is just amazing stuff. So make sure you check them out at starbright.com, and you can get a hold of all of the great products they have.
You and I had a conversation this week about their EVA cleaner.
Yes, they have a new EVA cleaner out. I haven't tried it yet, but
okay.
Actually, I got a sample of it though. I'm getting ready. I'll try it this week.
I will tell you that the deck cleaner does not bring out hydraulic fluid stains.
Okay.
So you got to be really careful when you're putting in those power poles and stuff like that. I found out this week.
And so does the EVA cleaner pull?
Don't know. I don't have any.
Oh, I got a little tiny sample. I might have it in the truck. I'll give it to you.
Okay.
After the show, I'll give it to you. I don't remember if it's in this truck or the other truck, but I've got a little sample bottle.
I found out having that foam is great. It just changes the whole boat, but it's an extra 15, 20 minutes of cleaning.
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
It does take a little bit more.
I know why a lot of guides don't use it. I mean, that's why I stayed away from it for years, but boy, is it nice to walk on.
Oh, it's beautiful stuff.
You know, I got the lamb deck right before we went to the Keys, and the guys really took care of me, and, you know, shout out to them.
Yeah, they're great guys. Hey, you know what else? If you need, all the stuff we talk about here on the show, obviously stop in at Strike Zone and check it out. We didn't do the fishing and boating conditions yet. I got to get that out there so people can see what's going to be going on. Basically, today and tonight, 5 to 10 out of the southeast or south. Seas are 2 feet, basically. An occasional 3 rolling through at about 7 or 8 seconds. Ponce Inlet buoy right now was actually a little tighter than that. It was 84 degrees and 2 feet at 5 seconds. But the 4-mile buoy at Canaveral and the 20-mile buoy at Canaveral, both 2 feet at 8 seconds. Water temp 85, 86 degrees. 6-mile buoy out of Fort Pierce, 87 degrees and 2 foot at 10 seconds down there. The western edge of the Gulf Stream is about 40 miles out of Ponce, 30 out of Canaveral, 24 out of Sebastian, and the surf temps are 84 at Ponce, 85 at Cocoa Beach, and 86 down at Sebastian Inlet. And then the tides are, we've got a 1:07 p.m. low and a 7:34 p.m. high at Canaveral, and a 1:31 p.m. low and a 7:48 p.m. high at Sebastian Inlet. Now remember that current change down there is about 3 hours after the actual low and high tides. The best times to get out there to hunt and fish, presented by All About Archery. Major today, 11:29 a.m. to 1:29 p.m. So right there at lunchtime is your major. If you guys and gals have a feeder set that has multiple settings, like I do, I run my feeder at between 12 and 1 o'clock every day for 2 seconds. Yes, it goes off in the morning. Yes, it goes off in the evening. But at noon, I put it on for 2 seconds to throw just a little extra corn out there just in case they've eaten all the corn for the morning. And days like today, when you've got a major right there at the 12:30 time frame,
They appreciate the snack.
they come to it. They come to it. So just a little tip for you guys and gals when you're setting your feeder times up. The other thing is the minor is at 6:37 p.m. to 7:37 p.m. So my feeder is set to go off at 6:30 this evening. And although I won't be able to get there tonight, maybe, one day here in the next couple of days, I will get a chance to get up there. Looking forward to it anyway. Hopefully, Aaron will be able to post up that information on our Facebook page for Catch a Memory Outdoors. Looking forward to seeing that. For those of you guys and gals out there that can comment on that, I would say definitely do that. And if you're, if you're a guide, obviously it's going to impact your business if they're shutting areas down. So that's a no-win situation for us. But if we can get it mitigated a little bit, that would be fantastic. Well, Jeff, what do you think, buddy? We've got mullet run going on. We've got duck season coming up. I mean, there's just so many things that we're going to be doing here in the fall time. Every year it's like, okay, what am I going to do this fall? Because everything seems to get crammed together. And it's the time of the year where you've got the shotgun in your hand one morning and you got the fishing rod in your hand the next, and then you got the bow in your hand the next. You don't know what to do. A tough problem to have.
Love this time of year.
Tough problem
Absolutely
to
love
have,
this
right?
time of year. And I don't know what I was going to say to follow up on that. Sorry.
You know what I was going to say? Monday is the start of the no tax on
Right.
guns and arrows and bows and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, places like Accurate Archery, you need to be visiting them early and often, getting your new arrows, getting your new release. You need a new sight for your bow. You might need a whole new bow. Who knows? But places like that, you want to stop in, check them out. Talking about shot, you're a number 6 guy when it comes to duck hunting. You like number 6 shot. You can shoot 7, you can shoot whatever, but
No, I'm 3-4. I prefer 3-4. Are you talking about pellet size?
yeah.
No, I 3 and 4.
Well, you know what? Maybe there's my problem.
Snipe, I'll do 7 to 9, but most of my duck hunting is, unless we're bluebill hunting out on the salt,
Right.
and then I'll move up to 2.
Interesting.
They're flying tanks. They're worse than ringers are.
Well, that may be why I'm not knocking them down.
Here we go again.
I bought 6 because I thought you said to buy 6. The
No,
Rio number 6.
I love those Rio shells, but
Yeah.
6 will be fine. They'll get you through teal season and the first part of the year. Shoot 'em.
I'm just going with double aught buck.
Well,
I'm going to knock them out of the air.
you're going to look like a pillow coming down after you hit it. Just a reminder, the computer normally 9 times out of 10 catches it, but you have to have that waterfowl permit, the free one from the government, where they contact you at the end of the season to find out what you shot.
Right.
A lot of times it's generated automatically, but sometimes it ain't. And I've been told that's the number 1 violation out there nowadays in regards to just getting blind checked or checked at the parking lot.
Right. Is you don't have your waterfowl permit, federal waterfowl permit, which is
The
separate.
freebie, the
which
one
is
that's
separate from your duck stamp.
correct. But as a lot of us know, we finally got the powers to be to have the federal duck stamp electronic now.
Yeah, that's nice.
So you don't have to have it. I'm kind of shocked that the feds agreed to it because they're number one enforcement is not signing your duck stamp. You know, they'll hand you a ticket where FWC will hand you a pen to sign it. So it's come a long way.
Yeah. Well, what are some other tips? I mean, so you're saying 3s and 4s are better to shoot ducks with than
for me
5s or 6s or 7s.
Yeah, you're getting a little light there.
Yeah.
Especially late in the season when we're shooting bigger birds. So, how many cases you get? Just one?
Oh, I'm down to 2 boxes right now.
Oh, okay. Well,
so I'm getting ready. I've been waiting for Monday to buy steel shot.
Yeah, 3 and 4.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. At 3 inch?
3 inch.
3 inch, number 3s or number 4s?
Yes.
Okay. All righty.
I haven't even looked at ammo. Has it come down at all, or is it still up near $200 a case?
I haven't looked at it either. It's been a year since I bought a case. So
yeah, it's ridiculous, the price of that stuff. Yeah. Well, everything's gone up. So I'm trying to think what else.
I just bought a box of white flyers at Bass Pro, just simply because I didn't. I couldn't walk out of the store without having something under my arm. So I bought a box of white flyers, and they were like $16 for 135, or $18 for 135.
You know what's up this year too, which is kind of nice, is they're paying a little more for gators than they have been the last several years.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I dropped the one that Blair and I did a show segment on a couple weeks ago, and I was very surprised with the check I got back. I just wasn't paying attention. Yeah. So,
well, that was a good sized lizard too.
It was a good size lizard, typical St. John's Upper Basin type gator. They got those big monster heads on them. We thought for sure that thing was over 12 feet, just looking at the head.
Yep.
And then you get them pulled out, and they got the typical Upper St. John's skinny bodies.
Yep. So they need to fatten up, huh?
Yeah.
Well, guys and gals, I hope you enjoyed today's show. Jeff, how does somebody get a hold of you if they want to get out and have some fun in the woods or the waters or wherever you want to take them?
321-863-9182 or the Coastal Sportsman on the social media sites. I will say that starting this year, or starting this duck season, and it'll go for ducks, gators, and my fishing, I'm going back to just my regular repeat clients.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to be taking any new clients starting this fall.
So you got if you want to go with Jeff, you got to get with one of his regulars and tag along on that.
Yeah, I've 31 years. I've got a lot of favors to call in.
You're slowing it down. Well, guys and gals, until next week, do exactly what we're going to do. Get out there and catch yourselves a memory.